You know, Rajiv, it's very interesting because what Rahul says, he's given the example of what Yechuri spoke with him on West Bengal. A similar case could actually pan out in Punjab, where the Aam Aadmi Party, very eager to tie up with the Congress in Delhi, but in Punjab would like to go it alone and possibly face off with the Congress and the BJP and the Akalis.
Look, I think there are state-level dynamics. Punjab and UP, Bengal, these are all state-level dynamics that will have to play out. But I think the larger challenge is simply this, Preeti. The NDA alliance is dominated by the BJP. It's BJP-centric. The other parties really don't matter. Here, the Congress is the pivot, but you have a lot of other parties that matter in different states. The Congress's challenge, and so far to their credit, they seem to have managed it, is to be flexible and pragmatic, to reach out to all of them and work with them on the ground. Because there are antagonisms that have existed with the Congress for the longest time. Can both sides overcome those simply because you believe that whatever you do, you have to stop the BJP? Is that the sole goal, anti-Modism? If that is, then it seems to me that the real goal of this India alliance is to get the BJP below 225. That's when I believe they are in the game, for which the Congress has to rise above 100. Unless the Congress reaches 120, 125, Preeti, how do you bring the BJP down below 225? That's, I think, the first goal. Which are those states where you can bring the BJP down? And I think this India alliance will have to focus on those states and then hope that South India in particular becomes their sort of fortress where they can win maximum number of seats. It's not easy.
Right. I have a follow-up with that, Rajiv, and we'll cut across to Rahul with the same, because when when you're talking of that Congress would need to be 100, that means Congress will need to lead this alliance. Is there an understanding by the likes of Mamata Banerjee, who wanted equal stakeholdership of this alliance, that Congress is going to now be the face, unsaid, be the face of this alliance? Altogether, these 26 parties stand at 144 in the larger stake of Lok Sabha seats right now. What's the difference between this alliance and what happened in 2019?
Preeti, I think two or three things. First, you're absolutely right. The Congress has to and I think that's the big change that's taken place in Bangalore. The Congress has to be at the heart of this alliance. For any opposition alliance to succeed, I think there is a general acceptance. Sharad Pawar has said this publicly, but now you're hearing other voices as well, expecting the Congress to take the lead. The question is, where is the Congress going to rise from the 53 seats that it has in Lok Sabha to reach 120? Which are those states where the Congress can take on the BJP? Last time, remember, 186 seats, direct fight, Congress versus BJP. The BJP won 171 of them, the Congress just 15. Unless that changes, unless that dynamic changes, in states where none of these allies will make any difference, how will TMC revive you in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh? They can't do that. The Congress is the Kamzor Kadi, whether we like it or not. If the Congress can get its act together, start winning in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan, in Haryana, then I think it's game on. So I think the next 6 months, what will have to be watched is, while the Congress sort of creates this India alliance, can the Congress become a stronger party which can take on the BJP as it did in Karnataka, as it did in Himachal?
Rahul, for someone who's followed many series, many seasons of alliances, UPA 1, 2, 3, and now, of course, India, what's the difference in terms of the contours of the opposition alliance from 2019 to now?
I don't think, Preeti, I have seen political parties or formations as desperate to get rid of a government. My early days were when VP Singh was leading the charge on the Bofors issue. It was a yen to come to power. It was to destabilize, get rid of Rajiv Gandhi regime. But I think there was not that palpable fear, threat, and all those similar elements as far as a political party is concerned, which the BJP does today. See, for example, Mamata Banerjee, who didn't want a meeting in a Congress-ruled state, has come to Bangalore, which is a Congress-ruled city. And in that, she has, for the first time, I think, Preeti, I think it escaped notice, that I have never seen Mamata Banerjee mention Sitaram Yechuri and D. Raja's name, CPM and CPI leaders, without attacking them. Today was the first time she mentioned their names. I think there is a threat perception. But eventually, as Rajdeep is saying, everybody going to act as aggregators. Interestingly, in 350 or 30 odd seats, NDA won 298, 255 for the BJP. Barring UP, if you see, most of the states are BJP versus Congress. As Congress, Rajdeep calls Congress a weak cuddy. Now that means Mamata Banerjee does well in her state, XYZ does well in the state. Congress has to do well in its own area.
You know, I want
influence
to just,
against the
Rajdeep,
BJP.
before we
That's
just close the
eventually
show,
story.
but before we close the show, I want you to quickly spare a thought of what's happening right now with the NDA is meeting. Very interesting. 38 political parties, most of them, or rather quite a bit of them, don't have 0 MPs or MLAs. What are the challenges that lie for the NDA? Then we're going to cut into a quick break.
Body language is a word that we use or overuse. Did you see Mr. Modi's body language? He went and hugged, gave a warm embrace to young Chirag Paswan. Someone who 15 months ago was desperate to retain his bungalow in Delhi, his father's old house, Ramvilas Paswan, and was turfed out because he was not needed. Today, Mr. Modi reaching out to Chirag Paswan, Mr. Modi warmly shaking hands of all these NDA allies, many of whom I've never met for the last 7 years.
True.
Suddenly you've rediscovered them. So I think till the start of the year, the feeling was, Ek Modi sab pe bhari. Mr. Modi is enough to take on everyone. I think there's a quiet recognition that in some states, like in Bihar with a Upendra Kushwaha or a Chirag Paswan, like in Maharashtra with an Ajit Pawar and an Eknath Shinde, in these large states, you do need as many allies as possible, not just for arithmetic, but also in terms of perception, to give the impression that we are not alone. This is not, this is not Modi versus all. This is an alliance versus another alliance. One alliance being more stable, according to the BJP, than the other, because the BJP is such a dominant force. Therefore, that provides stability. The other alliance is seen as chaotic. That's what the BJP wants to project. That's why the meeting is also being held, Preeti, on the very same day as the meeting taking place in Bengaluru.